Men who like to keep their morning routines simple will love these Multi for Him gummies, specially formulated with 12 key nutrients designed to support men's daily nutritional needs. Nature-made Multi for Him gummies help support muscle and bone health. It improves your immune health, and it increases your energy metabolism. With the quality you can trust, Nature-made Multi for Him gummies have no artificial flavors, no synthetic dyes, no high fructose corn syrup, no artificial sweeteners, and is gluten-free. Pharmacists around the world have recommended Nature-Made to be the #1 vitamin and supplement brand. So when you need something that's going to help you get you through the day, when you need something that's going to increase your energy to help you get you through that workout, to make you perform as an elite athlete at the top of your ability, try Nature-Made Multi for Him gummies, because you don't want to stop to the 12th round.
Welcome to the Terror Dome. You should be heading home, cause you could bring all of your ninjas and the Technodrome. I rip right through your flesh and bone and mental capacity. Flood your mind with atrocities and copious tragedies. This dark Sabbath is a lesson in street. Behold the church of the ghetto, feel the words when I preach. Amen. Let the Lord say a prayer for they don't end up in front of someone banging their trigger. Living life like a war pig. Fuck the law, I'm getting mine. Let the others figure what the cost is. Purchasing the fortress on gorgeous acres enormous. Car park full of foreigners and women just waiting on us. We living the dream. Y'all living like hell is earthbound. We are not the same. You've been a lame since birth, pal. I don't feel sorry. I recommend they go dirt bound. Doggy dog world, and you've been looking like Chuck Brown.
That was a long pause. Well, beautiful people, best damn nation. It is Wednesday, and you know what time it is. It is the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. I am your humble host, Brian Renegade, and with me, I have the best damn crew. First of all, if you see this man walking anywhere near your house, your car, if you see him in the shopping center, if you see him in a dark alley, run. He will beat your ass and throw you in the trash can. He is the green-eyed bandit. He fights people. Sometimes he bites people. He's your mama's favorite wrestler, and he can whoop your daddy ass, the one and only Roosevelt, the fighter, was had.
What's going on, man? And listen, I can't bite nobody today. I can't bite nobody today because our guest is known for just eating men and women, and she's known for just like being cannibalism. You know what I'm saying? Like she run through people like it ain't nothing, bro. So I think we need to just go ahead and go right into this introduction because I don't want no problems.
Well, I ain't stopping no greatness, man. Go ahead with your get on.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I want to introduce to you one of the greatest women wrestlers out there in the industry. And if you don't know, you get ready to find out in just a couple of seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the amazing Savannah Evans right here on the show with us today. Savannah, welcome to the show, and thank you for being a part of the family.
Thank you for having me. What's up? It's the cannibal eating competition alive. They call me the cannibal because I'll fight anybody and I will eat them alive. So that's the moniker.
Oh, man. Absolutely. Love it. Well, let's go ahead and get into it, man, because I love to ask this question to everyone that comes on this show. So Savannah Evans,
Mm-hmm.
when did you fall in love with wrestling?
Oh man, I first started watching wrestling. It was like very late 97. So my dad used to love watching wrestling, but I never really watched with him. Um, and then one time I went over to my grandpa's house and like him and my uncles and my dad were watching an episode. I think it was WCW. I don't know if it was Nitro or Thunder. But I sat down and I was like, oh, this is interesting. What are we watching? And then of course, back at home, my dad used to watch WWF. So I started tuning in and just caught on from there. So very attitude era.
Okay, all right. So, who was your favorite wrestler back then to watch? Like, who did you like watching in the ring?
The one that got me really invested was The Rock because, at the time he was just doing the most outlandish things, saying the most outlandish things, and I wanted to tune in every week to see what he was going to do next.
Okay. I was a huge Rock fan. I still am a huge Rock fan. You know what I'm saying? I think that he really changed the landscape of the wrestling, and he is the definition of putting your family on. You know what I'm saying? He's the definition of putting your family on, from his daughter all the way down to his cousins and them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I admire that. That's cool.
He's gonna make sure everybody in the family is good.
Yeah, make sure everybody eat. You know what I'm saying? Just like you can't just have one rich cousin. Why have one when all y'all can have some money? That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
Community. Yes, that's what it's about. All right, go ahead, Roosevelt.
So let's get back to your roots. What kind of sports did you play when you was in school?
Hilariously, I was not at all into sports when I was in school. Growing up, my parents wanted me to try all different kind of sports. So, they put me in like karate when my brothers signed up for karate. I did like softball when I was younger. And then I got into tennis for a little bit. Ooh, might want to plug up my phone. But I was pushed to like try different things. Like in school, I did volleyball, didn't really like it. I did tennis, badminton, didn't really like it. I actually didn't really like start getting into sports until I started training for wrestling, to be honest. I know everyone sees me and they're like, oh, did you used to play basketball or something? Because I'm tall. And I'm like, no, no.
Yeah, because I was actually thinking volleyball when I first saw you. I was saying she played volleyball or something. Like she's played.
I played it for 1 year and I didn't really stick with it.
What was it about it that you didn't like?
I don't know. I really just didn't like a lot of sports in general growing up.
Okay. Who trained you in professional wrestling?
My original trainer is Mr. Number One George South. I started at the High Spots Training School. So of course, beginner class is George. Then they had an advanced class that Caleb was teaching, Caleb Conley. And then also they added another advanced class with Cedrick Alexander, right before he got picked up by WWE.
Very nice.
Okay.
A whole list of who's who.
I was about to say that was a short flex right there. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
South and Cedrick Alexander.
There's more flexing to be done if you want. Of course, I accredit a lot of other people to helping me. That I train with as well. Caprice Coleman, of course, JD Drake, the Man Scout Jake Manning. A lot of them have been really good sources of obviously advice and inspiration. But just like, okay, this is another way to look at wrestling. Here you go. Let's train and get this in.
Talk your talk, queen. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going. Yeah. I got some more flexing if y'all want me to do it. Yeah, go ahead. Talk your talk. Absolutely.
I'm very grateful to have like such a wide variety of people, have a hand in training me. Absolutely.
What was the most challenging thing that you had to learn about wrestling, and what was the best lesson or best advice that you ever had or received in the wrestling business?
You said the hardest thing I had to learn and then the best advice?
Yeah.
Okay. Hardest thing I had to learn in wrestling. Well, to be honest, the I think the real answer is it's all really hard. It's not something that is natural or normal for you to do, to throw yourself at the ground for a living. You know, the things that you face as a wrestler challenges you mentally, emotionally, physically as a person, but also it challenges how you interact with other people as well. So I really would just say, as a whole, for me, a lot of the physical stuff. You know, I like I said, I wasn't really super into sports growing up. So you know, training myself to be physical and move a certain way was maybe a little bit challenging as well. I think a lot of people are like, oh, well, you know, you must have a an active background or you must have taken real quick to, and I'm like, no, no, nothing was quick or easy for me. I did not have a really good sports background. So it definitely challenged me to be more active, more physical. Um, but best advice, a lot of kind of good, maybe unconventional advice does come from George South. He lets you know, in wrestling, he has like a saying, like there's no left or right. It's like you do it the right way or you do it the wrong way. That's how he used to tell us in training, because some people are like, well, what if they take this left arm or what if they do it this way? And he's like, no, it's this way or it's wrong. And you could look at that a couple different ways, but it helped me with my basics. Like footwork is very important to me. Um, and like ring awareness, ring placement is very important to me as well. So a lot of the things that I learned in wrestling was like you can kind of like hear the rhythm, like we would run drills, you know, tackle, drop down, leapfrog, whatever have you. You hear the sound, you hear the rhythm of the person running, of, you know, them hitting the ropes and taking the bumps. And that kind of stood out to me the way that George trained us. But honestly, the best advice for wrestling is to just, you know, just be quiet and keep your ears open. You're not always right. And you have to learn to be like teachable, to be coachable.
So that's that old
Yes.
school wisdom right there. That's how you know them
Yes.
old players kind of taught you something. You know what I'm saying? It's like, just keep
Hmm.
your head down, do it the right
Yes.
way. Yeah.
Yes.
So let's talk about the early days of you starting to wrestle in North Carolina. You know, North Carolina is a big wrestling state, but not
Hmm.
so big for the women wrestlers. Talk about the
Hmm.
early days of you being able to get in the ring, who you had to step in the ring with, and making those transitions to be able to step in the ring with women wrestlers.
Yeah. So of course, and I think it's this way at most training facilities. There is literally just a couple, like a handful maybe of women that train there. So you know, when I got to high spots, there was literally one other woman that was training regularly. And of course that was Tessa Blanchard. She started maybe about 5 months before me. And a lot of girls came and went, but really it was learning to perfect my craft with guys is I think what helps me a lot, especially being a taller girl, a bigger girl in general. I did a lot of intergender matches, especially early on, and I love doing intergender because in most areas I'm going to be the same size as most of the guys on the roster anyway. Um, but like wrestling, a lot of guys kind of prepared me for wrestling women, I guess, because obviously there's a difference. um, but very early on, I mainly just kind of tagged along with where other people were going to shows, and then you know, sometimes I would get picked up for the show as well. Like for example, you know, working with High Spots, I went to a lot of shows with them. So, you know, where they were doing like a ring rental or something like that. So one show I showed up for a ring rental, and me and one of the other guys that I trained with, you know, once the ring was set up, we kind of got in and rolled around a little bit. And the promoter was like, do you have your gear? And I said, so this was the one cardinal sin that I committed. It was the one time I did not have my gear with me. And
Ah,
of course, it was very early on. And that's what they tell you from get-go is always bring your gear. Luckily, it wasn't too far from my house. So I drove back. I think it was like 20 minutes to my house, got my gear, came back, and I got put on the show. so sometimes stuff like that happened just because I did have that high spots connection. And I was always at different shows. People, networking was always there, because of that. But yeah, like we were talking about earlier, um, when I started in North Carolina, there was already established kind of group of women that was used at a lot of those local shows. Um, so I just got in with them. I was wrestling, kind of a lot of the same girls at first, and then now obviously there's a quite a lot of female wrestlers in North Carolina, and I'm really happy to see that, to be honest.
Yeah, we all know you the queen of the Amazons, though, so it's okay. Absolutely. Um, you just hit on something that I thought about, and I didn't think about it until we actually had our show. And I started going down the actual roster, and I told Roosevelt, I said, "Man, we don't have enough women on this show." And it had me thinking, as from a promoter standpoint. I'm not a promoter, I'm not claiming to be, but I was like, I would love to see the presence of more women on these shows. And I was very hyper conscious of the presence of women. So, I wanted to make sure that you guys had a certain amount of locker rooms, but obviously you had some people depot their way in there. Still locker rooms. But how is it being a woman in a male-driven industry and having to prove yourself? Because I think that you are one of the greatest talents on the indie scene, male or female. And so
Thank you.
how is it to be in a male-driven locker room and still have to prove yourself everywhere that you go?
Yeah. So like you did mention, just in certain situations, like having a place for female wrestlers in the locker room. Some places you go and it's like, okay, well, everyone's in the same room. So it's like, okay, well, we'll go change in the bathroom, stuff like that. But yeah, just having a spot, even if it's like a sign on the door, because wrestlers are wrestlers. So even if it's just like a sign on the door, hey, women's locker room, just so that Deboing doesn't happen to take space. But I think, especially around North Carolina, I feel very respected by a lot of the male wrestlers. I don't really have a lot of issues with any of them now. That everyone's pretty respectful. But it is kind of a place where you go to some wrestling shows and they don't have a women's match on the card, at least like one. I really like going to shows where you have more than one. I know stuff like that doesn't happen overnight, like changing places, but I like to at least see two women's matches on a show. If they have more, that's great, also. But it is, like you said, it's very important to me to make sure there is female representation in such a heavily male dominated sport, and to change people's views of how they look at women's wrestling or look at female wrestlers. Because, sometimes there's always a stigma of, well, I wasn't interested in that match, or, that was the match I got to go to the bathroom or to get concessions or whatever have you. I definitely always from the beginning wanted to be someone that like people did not want to get up from their seat for. They heard I was on the card, they wanted to be there. And it wasn't just, oh, this female wrestling match, because of course for so long it was looked at a certain way. But I do value places that value me, because it shows me that they care about women's wrestling and more than one kind of women's wrestling as well.
Absolutely. Let's go out to the best damn nation real quick. We got a couple of people showing you love. Mark James, Savannah is a beast. Absolutely.
Yes,
I would love
Mark.
Now, I'm not a fan of intergender matches, but I really believe that you and Mark will put on a banger. I'm just saying.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
No,
I'm not a fan of
to.
it, but I'm like, if I had to put you in there with somebody, I think me and you and Mark would have a banger, and you would stump a mud hole in Mark. You know what I'm saying? Sorry.
Yeah. No, and that's cool too, because it also brings up the point. Not, intergender wrestling is not for everybody. I am, trying to open up eyes about intergender wrestling because it has to be done a certain way. It can't just be, you know what I mean, everyday kind of situation. I think there's a good time and place for an intergender match. And of course the players in that match are very important as well. You know, you don't want to be compromising anyone or anything like that. But again, like me being intergender wrestling is usually not so far-fetched because again, and most of the time I'm bigger than a lot of the guys. Not in Mark James' case, but I told him I'm definitely down to wrestle him if anyone is willing to book it.
Here you go. Book it, bro. It might have to. We'll see. We'll see about that. Here's another comment from Freddie in text. I love Savannah Evans. Yeah, we love Savannah Evans too, man. She's such a beautiful soul. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. It's only been 2 women in my life that kind of scared me when they ran up on me, and one of them was Rhea Ripley, and the other person was you.
Stop.
I think I was talking to somebody, and I turned around. You was like, you had asked me a question about the match that you were about to do, and it just kind of. I turned around and it's like you were there, and I was like, I felt the presence. But that's great. How long did it take you to develop your character?
Ooh, good question. I think, like, obviously, I'm still developing it and fine-tuning things about it, finding different angles to look at how I can present myself as a character. But I would say it took a minute. As my first few years in wrestling, I was really just trying to figure stuff out. I would say I kind of just wrestled like everyone else, and I just kind of like how can I stand out? You know, how can I be something different? And it kind of originally grew from an idea, like from something that was already taking place. So I wrestled for quite a while for Queens of Combat, which was an all women's promotion that ran in Charlotte and like the surrounding areas. And I was with a group with Big Swole and also, sorry, my my dog is messing with something. Sorry. I was in a like a trios group with Big Swole and Devin Nicole as well. And
Okay.
we called ourselves the Sexy Young Caramels.
The
So
what?
our initials were
Hold
SYC.
up. Say that again. The what?
The Sexy Young Caramels or
The
caramels,
sexy
depending
young
on your region.
caramels. Yeah, whatever region.
Yeah.
The sexy young caramel. Okay, all right.
Yes. So it was you know, the initials were SYC 6. So, you know, unfortunately that didn't make it out to other promotions. It was just at Queens of Combat. I would have loved to have tagged with them at other promotions as well. But once the group was kind of disbanded, I still like the initials SYC and like the sick essentially. So I'm like, okay, what can I do with this for Savannah Evans? And at first I went with, what about the Sexy Young Cannibal? And then I kind of tweaked it over the years to just the Cannibal. And you know, I just wanted to be something different. Like I said, I'll fight anybody and I'll eat them alive. So that's kind of just the gist of the overall character.
I'm terrified and intrigued at the same time. I don't.
I ain't gonna hold you. Every time she said that, I feel like she talking to me. Like, who are you talking to? Real quick. I do want to say this. And you've met him before. My good friend Sean Dudley. I don't know if you remember Sean. He would always come with me to the shows. He was an older guy. He was never a wrestler, but he would always travel with me.
I think, like, I saw him like a while back. I think maybe with you. It's been
years ago.
Okay,
he's passed a couple years ago, but he would lose his mind right now had he known, if he was alive, that you were here, because you were his absolute favorite. He would always say, and whenever we saw you on TV or anywhere, he'd be like, "There go Miss Dudley." I'm like, "Sean, they want me looking at you." He'd be like, "Shut up, man. Let me dream." That's Miss Dudley over there. I'm like, all right, go for it, brother. So I did want to say that in his regard that he just loves everything about you. Every time he would see you at a show or something, he'd be like, "There's Mandeli over there." I'm like, well, go talk to her, Sean. She busy.
Yeah, she busy right now. I can absolutely say that you have made and at the Mania show. My dad was in the audience, which that was special to me. You know what I'm saying? For him to come to my first show. And when the women came out, he was like, "Oh, okay, all right." And then he saw you. And I think that you have a brand new fan in my father because he absolutely loved you. He kept talking about you. And I think that it's just your presence, the way you dominated in the ring and just your character. He said he hasn't watched a wrestling show in over 30 years. And so when he came and enjoyed the show and you were his favorite wrestler that he spoke about through the entire event, that meant something to me. So I just wanted to tell you that my pops loved you. Send him a shout out.
Well, yes, I'm definitely happy I have a new fan.
Absolutely, man. How is it your interactions with fans? Have you gotten used to people noticing you in public spaces?
So actually, I would say it was a couple years ago. I got noticed at the airport for the first time. And I was like, it almost like I wasn't even thinking that anyone would notice me. And I'm just trying to get to like my gate and, go about my day or whatever, just, trying to hurry. And then someone was like, Savannah. And I was like, it took me a minute. I was like, oh, they're literally talking to me. They recognize me from TV. So I kind of gave them a quick hello. I was like, sorry, I'm in a hurry, that kind of thing. But afterwards, I just really thought about it. I was like, wow, I really don't think about it a lot getting approached at the airport. But of course, it is always cool, when you're at shows, like pulling up to the show or leaving afterwards. Hey, Savannah, can you sign this, et cetera, et cetera. Sometimes I think, and this is kind of related, sometimes I feel like, and I'm sure it's with a lot of people too, I get caught up in just the moment and sometimes I forget about the kind of impact that I do have on fans. And then, every now and then I'll be reminded, I'll be at the merch table and it'll be like a group of kids, like maybe a group of little girls, like, oh my gosh, you kicked that guy's butt, or oh, that was so cool, you did this. And that's the kind of interactions, that's the impact that I love, because it reminds me, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know the word, but it just reminds you, like, it's moments like this that make wrestling like really worth it, that you
Right.
impacted that child, or you made an impression. Maybe they like wrestling more now. Maybe this, like you said, maybe it was their first time watching. So I really like interactions with fans like that.
It's the representation you spoke about
Yeah.
earlier. It's the
Yes.
representation.
Yes.
Like just having someone coming to you and saying, "Hey, I enjoyed it because of you."
Yes.
And that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest compliment we can get as wrestlers, for someone to say, "I enjoyed it because of you."
Yes, speaking of which, I feel like I tell the story a lot, but I love it because I think about it a lot. I was at a show, and a friend brought her son, and he doesn't watch wrestling a lot ever. But he is mixed race. He's half white, half black. And when I came out, he turned his mom and said, Mom, she looks like me. And when she told me that, I was like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, I'm getting goosebumps right now. It's just cool stuff like that, like you said, it's representation. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. What advice would you give young Savannah Evans about life?
Oh man. Young me, I feel like could teach me right now a lot. Young, I feel like I could learn from younger me right now, like that mindset I had back then. But I would definitely tell young me, like, keep being creative. Don't ever try to fit into a box or the box. Keep doing your own thing. Embrace that creativity. Embrace your differences. Um, just, that kind of thing. Like, there's there's so much out there. Just pursue what it is that you want.
Yeah, bro.
I got a deep one. Just allow me to just explore this for a second.
Yeah.
Are you biracial?
So like not directly. There are definitely members of my family, like, back a few generations that are mixed, white and Native American and black. But not directly. Both my parents are black. My mom is probably about my complexion, and my dad was a little darker.
Okay,
Hmm.
gotcha. We light skinned people got to stick together. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
Yes.
looking over. It's hard
Yeah.
out here in these streets. We had to fight for everything back in the day. Absolutely. Go ahead, Roosevelt.
Um, let's go back to More Mania real quick. And
Hmm.
the match that you had, it was a triple threat hyperdrive match. Talk about your time at More Mania first off, and the mindset of going into a match as different as this one.
Yeah. So when I first, showed up well, first of all, even before I showed up to the venue, I was like, Mall Mania, this is gonna be cool. I think maybe when I was younger, I had been to that mall maybe once or twice. I have family that live in the Greensboro area, and I was like, well, what is this gonna be? How is it gonna look? And then when I got there and it was like inside a store in the mall, I thought that was the coolest thing. You don't see that every day. Um, and then of course the match was a triple threat. With the title on the line, I was like, man, I didn't. This is like a cool opportunity for my first time working, Mall Mania. Essentially, it was the first show, but I thought it was cool. Definitely the fact that it was a triple threat. Different ways to what was my thought? Sorry, different opportunities for all three of us to get new fans, new eyes on us, that kind of thing. And then of course for me, different competition. Like Amira has been around, for a while, and I've not had too much interaction with her. So having that triple threat with her was very cool. And then, same with CC Young. I wrestled her one time in the singles, and that was just a few months ago. So it was cool getting to kind of like not pick them apart, but like see how they are, how they roll, that kind of thing. But I was definitely honored to have the opportunity to wrestle both of them for the title.
Absolutely, man. I thought you did a phenomenal job, and we threw a lot at you guys at the last minute because it was our first time doing a. First of all, it was our first time doing a women's hyperdrive match, and then to add a element of difficulty by making a three-way. I'm like, okay, this is different. I know they're gonna handle it. They're gonna have one of the best matches on the card. All right, bet. I already know they good. Um,
Mm.
but the thing that I really loved is how you guys just owned it, and you went out there and you just had fun, and that's all I really wanted. I was like, I just want y'all to go out there and have fun and just enjoy yourselves when you out there. I low key felt like the Black Bitchman, man, without all the allegations, without the allegations. But um, are you enjoying being back on the indie scene, or do you prefer to work for a major company?
So I actually was gonna bring that up too when you mentioned fun, because I really want to get back to having fun with wrestling. It's a whole kind of different animal when you have to wrestle for TV, and it has to be a certain way, and it's being filmed this way. Storylines and things like that to be involved. Maybe time constraints or what have you for a match. It's like a different kind of pressure, and that kind of pressure can sometimes take away from the fun of what wrestling is. That's why we all love wrestling. It's fun, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm definitely glad to be back on the indies. I was doing indies when I was with TNA as well, but uh my indie bookings were less because TNA was taking up a lot of that time. But I love wrestling on the indies, like I said, because it's fun for me, and I want to remind myself that wrestling is supposed to be fun. Not that I didn't have fun at TNA, but again, it's a different kind of pressure, a different kind of stress to perform on that level. But I love wrestling on the indies, and like you were saying, with the women's match at Mania, it was fun, and we all three kind of just wanted to be like, well, let's make this the best match we can make it. It is three 3 minute rounds. What was it? I believe three 5 minutes rounds. So we're like, hey, let's just have fun with this. See what we can do within, that I guess those rules, I guess, of the match. And let's see what we can do and still show out and still represent. I always think when I go into matches, I'm like, well, I wanna do good because I don't want to prove that stigma right of like women's matches are not good and that kind of thing. And I don't know if that's an unnecessary stress I put on myself, but I think about that every time I go out there. Like I don't want to prove those people right.
Right. You prove yourself every time you step out there. You a superstar, girl. I'm just letting you know. You know what I'm saying? You're a superstar. Do you still put pressure on yourself to learn and grow as a wrestler and an artist, or are you comfortable in your skin and how you present yourself?
Yeah, I always want to be learning and getting better at what I'm doing. I know you look at some wrestlers and they think they have it figured out as soon as they get somewhere to like a major company, or as soon as they're in their third year or whatever, they think they have all the answers and that they don't need to improve, and maybe they do become a bit complacent. And I always thought to myself, like, that can't be a thing for me. I'm never happy with, but when I get to the back after a match, I'm never like, oh my God, that everything about that was great. I'm like, man, I should have done this. I should have done this. Next time I should do this. So I am always looking to improve, always looking to, keep stepping it up.
Okay.
If you had a match tomorrow from anybody in any era, who would it be?
Oh, when you say from any era, that makes it tough. That definitely makes it tough. I would say maybe 5 or so years ago, when, in interviews, when people ask me, like, who on the current scene do you want to wrestle? And it was the answer for the longest time, because I hadn't wrestled any of them in singles yet. The answer every time was always Deonna Purrazzo, La Rosa Negra, and Thunder Rosa. And I have wrestled Deonna now at this point and La Rosa Negra, and I would still love to wrestle Thunder Rosa. I have not wrestled her in a singles yet, so I'm still gonna keep her on that list. I think a lot of times too, I think about the wrestlers that I watched, when I first started watching wrestling. Lita was really huge at the time. I think if there was a like a dream match, it would definitely be Lita, just because it would mean a lot to me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But obviously I think I could list so many people, I think, especially if we're going like of any era.
Right. Just talk about the support you have from your family. Like, what was that like when you first started and you say, hey, guys, I'm going to go to wrestling training? And it was like, then they looked at you like, what did you just say, type of thing? Or, what was their response to you saying, hey, I'm going to be a professional wrestler?
Yeah, I think when family hear that, they're like, oh, okay, whether they believe me or not. But I think when my parents started realizing, okay, well, she is serious about this, they're like, well, you need to like go to college first. And that was their answer, because obviously to them, wrestling was not a thing that I could do as a career. And of course, bless them, they're just trying to look out for their their daughter. But I really did not enjoy college at all, and I don't use my degree at all. And it just was a very long, drawn out process because I wasn't interested at all. But my family is very supportive of me. My dad was really, really into the fact that I was a wrestler. He did get to come out and see um, a match or two. He did pass away in 2016, but I'm always happy that he was able to see me wrestle in person. I think that was, the coolest thing, and he thought it was the coolest thing that I was a wrestler. My mom my mom supports as well, and I just don't think she understands it. She's just like, okay, if this is what you want to do, or you know what I mean, or you want to do anything else, stuff like that. My brothers love that I wrestle. They're always, reposting me or like on Instagram the other day. So my one brother was in town from he stays in Orlando, but he was in town for about a week and a half, and he went to one of my shows last weekend. And of course, every time he sees me at a show, we take a picture, and he's posting on Instagram, my sister is cooler than yours, and that always, gets a laugh out of me. But yeah, I would say my family is supportive of my wrestling.
How many brothers do you have? And do you have any sisters?
So I have two brothers. They're twins. They're 2.5 years younger than me. And then I have an older half sister.
And your brothers just celebrated a birthday, right?
Yes, they did.
Happy birthday
on the second.
That's brothers.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Yes.
Do you say happy birthdays with an S? Just happy birthdays to y'all.
Plural.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh man, that's great. Are you originally from North Carolina?
Yeah. So I was born in Charlotte. Me and my brothers were born in Charlotte. My dad worked for IBM, so we moved around a lot. By the time I was in third grade, we were living in California for maybe about 7, 8 months, not even anything long like that. And then we lived in Vegas for a little bit, maybe like a year. And then after that, we moved to Colorado, and that's where I grew up, I guess, mostly from like fifth grade. And then I graduated high school out there, and then my family moved back to Charlotte. So originally from Charlotte, no Southern accent, nothing like that. But I am a Charlotte native.
Okay. Queen City seems fitting.
Yes.
Is the wrestling scene is there a wrestling scene in Charlotte?
Yes. Oh, so the wrestling scene in Charlotte has changed a lot, I would say, over the years. There are a lot of shows that run, I would say, around Charlotte, and there's a few that are now kind of filtering into Charlotte, and they'll run mainly like breweries, because at this point they're very accepting, and sometimes hard to find venues that want wrestling to be in their building. You know what I mean? So I find that a lot of breweries are running or having shows in Charlotte, which is cool. I like a good brewery show. Everyone's excited. Everyone's having a good time. But there was a major company running here. Of course, I'm sure everyone in the area remembers PWX. That was the big one in Charlotte. So they're no longer here. So I definitely feel like there is a hole for another larger indie to come in and kind of fill that spot. And I think a lot of people have just been waiting for that to happen.
I feel like Ashe is the company that's getting ready to take that spot.
Yes. Sorry, not to forget Ashe, but you're right. They they just hit their second year, I believe. So they are now, in the forefront of the Charlotte wrestling scene. Absolutely.
So that's dope. I think that to have the type of promotions and different types of promotions that are popping up. I know that Ashe is a predominantly, I'll say a predominantly
us.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a Black-owned company.
A Black-owned company, but it caters to all people. All people can go out and enjoy the shows. And it's just you have those voices now in wrestling that we didn't have growing up. I know I grew up in the early 80s, 90s, and every time I seen even the wrestler that had a tan, I'm like, oh yeah, I like him. That's my wrestler. I was a big Razor Ramon fan until I realized that he
It was like
wasn't
Mark
really.
Miro, Razor Ramon.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that had a little bit of a tan, I was like,
Taz.
Taz. Yeah, I thought Taz was the brother for a long time.
We
And I was
all
like,
thought Taz was a brother.
I was like, Taz ain't my brother. What? Okay, all right. It's like believing in Santa Claus.
But yeah,
But
I'm
that's
really excited to be a part of Ashe. Like you said, like we talked about, is a Black-owned company. They're representing in Charlotte. Of course, everyone is invited. We would like everyone to come down, join in, and take part in what we're doing. So I don't want to forget that plug. Definitely check out Ashe. They are a flourishing, growing company here in Charlotte, and definitely check them out.
absolutely. And I have to show this clip because and shout out to DCW for this clip. But I love the clip that they put together of you, so I just wanted to show the fans a little bit of, just a little bit of your power and your prowess.
Yeah.
It's time to even the score. You know what's in store.
If you're not scared and intrigued, you ought to be scared enough to not mess with it and intrigued enough to go see and pay for a ticket for a show. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And what places would you like to wrestle? Like, do you have a bucket list of countries that you would like to go to and wrestle?
Yes. I would love to wrestle in Mexico. I still have not wrestled in Mexico. And I would, of course, love to wrestle in Japan. Sorry if there's a lot of noise going on. My dog is trying to get comfortable on his little dog bed. He's got to turn around and dig around and make all this noise. I would love to get out to Mexico. I'd love to get out to Japan. I have a couple times wrestled, and I guess we call them the islands, really. But I wrestled in Barbados. That was the first time I wrestled outside of the mainland United States. But that was cool for me. It was just like a cool experience. I love traveling, so it was cool to be out there and see the way things are there. And it was also, I don't know, kind of unique because it was literally, we got back like the week before they shut down for COVID. So I was like, we could have got stuck in Barbados. I guess that would have been horrible. But I really did enjoy it out there.
It would have been horribly awesome. You know what I'm saying? It's
exactly.
If you're going to get stuck anywhere, you might as well get stuck in paradise. You know what I'm saying? Why not?
Exactly. Barbados was great. And then, of course, I also got to wrestle in, where was that? I want to say it was the Bahamas. Forgive me, it was a few years ago. So, more trips like that I would love, of course. But yes, Mexico and Japan are still on my list.
All right, I got a question for you. Here we go. You stuck on an island in Barbados somewhere, and you had to be stuck on the island with 3 wrestlers. Who would those 3 wrestlers be?
Ooh, that's a tough choice. It would definitely have to be, like good friends that would make me laugh, I feel like. Is the correct answer
Don't pick him because he points to himself. Yeah. Don't give him no pity plug. We ain't doing no pity picks around here.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely people that would make me laugh and keep me entertained. Someone that I find super entertaining just as a person. And definitely reminds me of like people I knew when I was younger and went to school with. I would definitely invite to Barbados. I would say Amanda Kiss because, like I said, she reminds me of like people I was hanging out with when I was like her age. Like, you know what I mean? I knew people like that. And so I think she would keep the entertainment value very high. And the like, what's she gonna do next? Very high. Let's see, who else do I really enjoy being around? I think because me and him have like a love-hate relationship. It definitely Rayhan Antez, also from the Charlotte area. We have this funny dynamic where, you know, he considers me his estranged ex-wife, and that I think that's the dynamic that we have. You know, we kind of bicker a lot. We're very different people, but we, you know what I mean? Like we love each other, but we're also like all like this sometimes. So I think he would kind of keep things interesting on the trip. The third person, I don't know. That is tough. Oh no, I'm gonna say another cool person. I would bring Masha Slamovich to be champ in Barbados with. Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's a solid team. You know what I'm saying? That's like one of them not girl trips because you got to. Well, it was a guy in girls trip. So yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I like that crew. That's a cool crew right there. Yeah.
All right, I got one. All right, you in the bar and you guys got to fight your way out.
Ooh.
Who's on your team? You got to pick two people.
We originally came up with that question, by the way. Go ahead.
Who originally came up with it?
No, we originally came up with that question like 3-4 years ago. So it's okay.
Who would have my back in a bar fight? I think I would want definitely Sue Young because she brings the unpredictability factor. You know, she's the kind of person, if her friends are in trouble, she'll jump in there real quick and just, you know, wild. Like, I'm gonna come at you like a spider monkey type of fight.
You don't know how to take it. It was like, I don't know whether to fight, run, or call the police.
Right. Like, what's happening?
What's happening?
Let me see, who else?
You got 7 girls. One of them got a razor blade. Who you got?
No. I think if I was in a bar fight, first of all, this person would probably already be there at the bar by the time I showed up. But definitely JD Drake. He is, you know what I mean? He's someone that you probably wouldn't want to run into in a back alley somewhere. And I know he always has my back, so I had to pick him.
All right, cool. So you clearing out. Y'all making it home. We making it back to the Uber.
I can see JD Drake. I can see JD Drake now. I was like, what? We got a problem. Hold on a second. Let me finish this.
Yeah.
Wow. And then hit the first person he sees while he's still drinking. Just
and the beer is not spilling at all. 100%. Yes.
Not a drop. Oh man. Well, look, Savannah, I want to see if you got the gift of gab. I know you do. But sometimes I like to bring wrestlers on here to kind of test their chops a little bit. And for some reason, I don't know why, but Roosevelt always has a problem with the wrestlers that come on this show. And he always says some unsavory things about them and to them. And so I want you to cut a promo on Roosevelt. Y'all gonna go back and forth. I want you to threaten him within an inch of his life. Make him feel unsafe. So I want you to cut a scathing promo against Roosevelt in our best damn promo battle. Are you down for this challenge?
Brother is not my strong suit, but I will try.
Hey man, trying is all we need. That's all we can do is try. You know what I'm saying? All right, Roosevelt, are you ready, sir?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Well, who's going first?
I can go first.
All right. Yeah, let Roosevelt set the tone, and to let you know, no pressure. But Roosevelt right now is 0-6 with the ladies. I'm just saying, he is 0-6.
Why you come up business out there for? Like
I'm just letting her know what the statistics is of her winning. So I'm just saying in general.
Run that beautiful thing footage, man. Just run the thing.
All right, well, beautiful
turn
people.
The sound up so I hear every bit of this.
Oh yeah, you got to hear every insult. Beautiful people, prepare yourself. We are going to war. All right, Roosevelt, you got first.
I'm not even sure how I feel about this right now because I feel as though that I'm at a disadvantage talking to Sanaa Lathan's twin sister. And I feel as though the two of you have more than just your looks in common. I feel as though you guys have the acting ability in common because you act as though as you're that tough. You act as though that you're that woman. You act as though you're the real cannibal. Let me explain something to you, Savannah Evans. There ain't no eating no men around here. If you step in the ring with me, it's going to be a whole different situation. Now, my man Brian's not really into intergender matches, and I myself am not really into intergender matches. But my mother always said, if a woman hits you, you knock her ass out. And I'm sorry to say, but you big enough to take it, mama. So I think it's a grand opportunity for me to let loose a little bit and see just how much you can take. Because you want to be the cannibal. You want to be the one that eats your opponents. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't matter how many is in a ring with you. You want to be the one to run through them. We're going to have a hard time running through a man who likes to fight. You're going to have a hard time running through the man named Roosevelt.
Okay. All right. Yeah, all right. That was good. That was good or whatever. Savannah Evans, eat his ass alive.
Yeah. Roosevelt, you want to run off a big long list of what I'm acting like, what I'm pretending to be like. You acting like you can't get your ass whooped is what you acted like. You acting like I won't drag you up and down that ring, up and down the aisle, high-fiving fans while I'm beating your ass, man. So you want to compare me to Sanaa Lathan? Like that's the first time I've heard that. You call me an actor. And I'm gonna show you what time it is because it's feeding time, and you looking like just a little snack right now. Okay, so like I said, they call me the cannibal. So I'll fight anybody, man, woman, child, and I will eat them alive because I am a fighter. I am a fighting champion, and ain't nothing you can do about it.
Nothing. You hear it? Nothing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I am a snack. You know what I'm saying? They call me zaddy. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little zaddy.
I didn't even want to give you that compliment. I didn't want to. I'm like, I have to say snack.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I had to boo Roosevelt real quick. That was a great promo battle between Roosevelt and Savannah Evans. Oh man, that was fun, Savannah. What's your dog's name?
My dog's name is Drax, Drax, and he is named after Drax on Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay,
we can
all
see
right.
if he wants to be on camera. And Drax, you want to come up? No, you comfy down there? Are you sure? Come on. No, okay.
Nah.
He's not interested right now. I guess he got comfy.
Is that your only baby?
You said what?
Is that your only baby?
Yes. He I adopted him back at the end of May. He's a little brindle striped pit bull. He's 2.5 years old, and he is a wild child. He literally is like a toddler. He puts everything in his mouth, like multiple times. I feel like a day I'm having to grab something out of his mouth and be like, "Stop putting stuff in your mouth." Like he'll just pick up anything.
It sounds to me
Yeah.
he's putting you in mommy mode already.
Yes.
So my question to you,
Yes.
real quick, before we shoot off to the next thing, is mommy. How did you feel about being a mommy one day?
Oh, how do I feel about being a mommy one day?
Yeah.
I don't really see myself having kids. Just because like it's a huge investment, and not that I think that a lot of people take it lightly, but it's just something that would require so much of me. I just don't think it's for me, but I understand kids are a blessing.
Yeah.
Hey man, Becky and Naomi just had babies at the top of their game. So you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Never too late. Never too late. Let me ask
Yes.
you a
But in
question.
this economy,
Yeah, this economy kind of rough. Think we might want to wait a little bit. I'm not sure if you are single or not, but do you date wrestlers or have you?
oh, that is a loaded question, I feel like. Because just for the fact that like you're around wrestling so much, of course you make connections with people. I just feel like I'm around wrestlers more than I'm around like, real, not real people, but like, I don't know, civilians is kind of how I refer to them, like regular people. So it's definitely difficult to navigate because like an average person is not going to understand you being on the road all the time, or not having a lot of weekend time and that kind of thing. So sometimes it is easier just to be talking to someone that is a wrestler.
Mhm. I wasn't trying to put your business out in the street, and I was just asking in general because some
Yeah.
people date people in their industry, and some people
Hmm.
don't. And so I didn't know how you felt about that because you're right. There is a difference between dating somebody that's not of that world and then dating somebody who's heavily involved in
Hmm.
that world. And sometimes you have to pick the right person who's for you. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Yeah.
that's essentially what it boils down to. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I won't dig into nothing. I won't try and see who I'll just trying to see because like I say, um it's a very taxing and very rewarding at the same time, but it can be a very taxing industry. What
Hmm.
kind of things do you do to kind of um
Decompress.
decompress, like woosah? Like what do you do to decompress?
Like on my days off and stuff.
On your days off, like when you're not
Okay.
working, when you're not wrestling, like what do you do to like just completely relax?
My favorite thing to do when I don't have to wrestle is nothing. I love to take a nap in the middle of the day, just lay down and, recover, recoup. That's honestly one of my favorite things. Um, but I will say, having a dog does keep me busy in that sense. I think sometimes that helps me decompress when he's not being like,
So
another source of
needy.
stress. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
sometimes that's a good way for me to like decompress as well, is just, being around my dog, watching some TV, just having like a regular day, basically.
Hmm. Now, is
Okay.
is wrestling your only job?
So no, I do also have a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. So some weeks I don't have a day off because Saturday and Sunday have shows. So again, that's why I loved it, just not doing anything. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
but also, I do enjoy hanging out with like my group of friends as well. With wrestling, I'm sure a lot of people agree. Like it's sometimes hard to keep up with your regular friends that don't wrestle because you're always busy wrestling. So a lot of my circle of friends are wrestlers, like the local wrestlers. So I make sure to, hey, what are y'all doing this weekend, or what are you guys up to tomorrow, to keep me kind of grounded and decompress as well. Because they're really good about reminding me, like, you don't stress out about that stuff. What are you doing? Like, don't worry about that till
Mm,
tomorrow or what have you.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
See
the funniest thing about hanging with regular people that's not in wrestling is to remember to talk about regular stuff with the
Yes.
regular people.
Yes.
You sit here like, oh yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Like when I got hit with this chair the other day and whatnot, you know, it didn't really bother me too much. People look like, what? What are you talking? I
Yeah.
was asking you, did you want to go to see the movie? Like, what are you talking about chair? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
no. Look, hand me the gimmick over there. Like, what are you talking about?
Yes, I say gimmick all the time. People are like, what? The two things I say, I say brother the most, and not like everyone else uses brother, but like brother in the wrestling sense.
Yes.
And then gimmick, yeah, everything's a gimmick. And so they're just like, what are you talking? Just say what it is. And I'm like, okay, sorry.
Yeah, I will honestly say that I was talking to Roosevelt one day. He kept using the word gimmick, and I was like, "What the hell is he talking about?"
The thing, the thing.
The thing, the gimmick, the gimmick.
Everything that's in front of you is what I'm talking about. Everything else.
Absolutely. All right. So, what is next for Savannah Evans?
Ooh. Everything and anything, to be honest. I definitely want to be as many places as I can. Being out as many places, like I said, Mexico, Japan, I would love to go there. But what is next for the Cannibal is really, I guess it's for me to find out. I think I still enjoy this journey a lot of wrestling, and I just want to see how much I can get out of it.
Absolutely. You heard it first from the queen of the Amazons, the cannibal, Savannah Evans. All right. Well, we like to do this thing at the end of each show where we give a little bit of motivation, a little bit of just some things that you can take with you throughout your week that'll help you with your week and with your day. So, Savannah Evans, do you have a final word for the beautiful people?
Yes, motivational, inspiration, mantra, if you will. I try to remind myself, especially, uh, don't get involved or don't get too caught up on. I'll start over. It's good to have goals. It's good to have goals like short term, long term, but don't be so caught up sometimes in like this. Like just take, one day at a time, honestly, because sometimes you can get overwhelmed thinking about, oh, the bigger picture, and just concentrate on what you're doing right now. Concentrate on today. Sometimes don't even look at tomorrow. What you're doing right now, be present in the moment, because you can never get this moment back.
Absolutely. That is a
Yes.
final word from your queen, Savannah Evans. Roosevelt, do you have a final word for the beautiful people?
Yes. My final word for the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast is accountability will take you a long way.
Yes.
And just thinking of accountability for things that you say, things that you do, your own time, your own space, your own mindset, and your environment. You you are the brain of everything around you. You are the reason why you have the energy around you. So just take accountability for the things that you do, the things that you say, and the things that you allow to be around you. And it'll take you a very long way. That is my final word for the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast.
Absolutely. You heard the boy, Roosevelt. Beautiful people, if I have to give you a parting word or a final word for today, it is, do not be afraid of your power. I'm going to say it again. Do not be afraid of your power. Sometimes we try to dumb ourselves down to other people's ideas of us and what we're supposed to do. And we can put fears and other people's expectations on our dreams and our goals. And sometimes we forget how strong or how powerful we are and how we can create or manifest things if we just put the time and effort and ignore all of the static. Don't forget how powerful you are. Don't forget how strong you are in moments of weakness. Don't forget how valuable you are to your dreams and to the people that love you the most. Don't be afraid of your power. Let that shine. If people feel like if people feel threatened by your power, that is none of your business. That is absolutely none of your business. You are created and made to be great. You are created and made to be powerful, to reflect the Most High. And you should not be afraid of your power or put limitations on yourself. So, my final word to the beautiful people, the people who are struggling to get to that next level and don't know what it is that they have to do to progress, you already got the answers. Stop being afraid of your power and use it. That is the final word from your boy, Brian Reddick. I hope that resonated with somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we powerful beings. Sometimes we can be afraid of our power and try to dim our light for other people. But
Yeah.
our light is not made to dim. It either come on or go off. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, don't be afraid of your powerful. We are all powerful. Use that power in the right way though. You know what I'm saying? Some people become super villains and shit. But just just use your power in the right way. Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, Savannah Evans, girl, you are family now. You can come on this show anytime that you want to.
Yes.
If you got a problem, call Roosevelt first because he closer, and then I'm coming locked and loaded because ain't nobody messing with sis. You hear me? Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Thank you so much for being on the show. You are a bright light. You are a talent that everyone should be paying attention to. You are lighting up the indie scene, and I already asked you to come back on our next show. So you already family. Like I said, I'll let you know. We'll let you know, and we'll let you know when to
Yes.
come and destroy, eat people, and then you can leave. Like,
Yes.
so,
It's funny, small side note, to go back to when you said when you saw me at the Mall Mania show and you turned, I was just right there asking you a question. Like I was like, on one hand, I realized, okay, I have not met him. I don't know this person, but also at the same time, it's like it kind of felt like, this is, like I already know you. You know what I mean?
oh,
Maybe it was the light skin thing. I don't know, but
that's it. That's
that's
it.
the vibe I got. So yeah,
Yeah. Listen, and it's the same thing when I first started talking to you. I was like, oh, she really has a presence about her, and that's not something that has anything to do with looks. It's the energy that you have. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And you have a powerful energy about you. Never forget that. You know what I'm saying?
thank you.
People can feel you when you walk into the room, and that's not something that you can teach. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So continue to carry that power and that light, and continue to represent for little light skinned girls like yourself, and just women in general, and show that women deserve to be at the top of every card in the wrestling business. You know what I'm saying? So you are a great representation of that. And I applaud you, and we're gonna pray for you, my sister. And anything that you post, we're gonna repost it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, so we got your back. Yeah,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
appreciate that. And of course, I always appreciate the support and everything like that. And like you said, it's those are great things to remind yourself, or for me to remind myself of rather.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have what you got going on, and where can the people find you?
Yes. So this weekend I will be in, where are we? Oh, I'll be at Pollywogs in South Carolina for WrestleForce. They do an outdoor show out there. So if you are in the area, come check it out. And then online, you can find me. I'm probably the most active on Instagram, if we're being honest. My Instagram handle is Savannah EVS, because Savannah Evans was taken. So you get Savannah Evs. And then also I am on Twitter or X, however you want to call it. It's Savannah Evans NV. You can follow me there as well. But again, I'm more active on Instagram. But check me out. I'm always posting, my shows and results from my past shows, photos, that kind of thing. So check me out.
Absolutely. Check out Savannah Evans and everything that she got going on. All right. Roosevelt, where you going to be at? What you got going on? Where can people find you?
Yeah, man. September 19th, I'm going to be in Tennessee. I'm making a debut for a show. It's a surprise, so I can't really say where I'm going to be because they don't even know that I'm even coming. September 20th, I will be in I can't never say the name of this damn going town. It's a small town in North Carolina. It's like out there near Charlotte for Square Circle Champions. And then September 25th, I will be at Cherry Point Military Base for crew wrestling. So I got a lot of wrestling coming up. Don't forget, December 14th, we have the Mall Mania returning back to the Four Seasons Mall for Christmas Chaos. It's going to be an amazing event where we're doing something spectacular, y'all. We're doing something spectacular, and we want to make sure that you guys come and see what we got going on and how we're going to build this thing from the ground up and beyond. And we're working on something even bigger. We're not going to tell you until the Lord tells us it's time to tell you. Yeah,
don't say nothing.
But it's something to where we're fixing generational wealth.
Okay.
We're fixing generational.
That was way too much information. Shut up. Don't say nothing else. They still don't know what you're talking about. But don't tell nobody we trying to get money like that, boy. Shut up.
No, we ain't got money like that, but we making changes to our lives and the lives of the people that are closely connected to us. So
absolutely,
make sure y'all tune in every week. We got more interviews coming up, so you make sure you tune in every week to the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast every Wednesday, most times at 7:00, unless we gotta change our schedule to fit the needs of our guests, because we don't mind doing that, because that's what we do around here, because we love our peoples, man. So
depending on who you is, you know what I'm saying? Depending on who you Savannah Evans is a somebody. We had to make them rules for Savannah Evans.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And make sure you guys follow me on TikTok, official_Mr. Everything. No, I have not changed it yet. No, I said I was going to change like 10 times. Don't worry about what I'm doing, okay? I do it when I'm getting ready to do it.
Yeah, man. So go follow Roosevelt on his TikTok on Mr. Everything. Yeah, you need to change that. You know, you done changed the whole character, man. You can't still have an old character up. You know what I mean? But yeah, go follow him on his TikTok. And you can go follow us on all of our social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all of those. You can also go to our website, www.thebestdamnwrestlingpodcast.com. If you want to attend one of them Mall Manias, we got the next show coming up, Christmas Chaos in Greensboro, North Carolina, December 14th at the Four Seasons Town Center. We are going back and we're having a bigger show, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be vendors there. We got some special treats and some special celebrity guests that's going to be there as well. So make sure that you guys come and check out Mall Mania. And then 2026, we all over the place with it, Jack. So yeah, follow us on all of our platforms and see what we got going on. I'm Brian Renegade. You can follow me on all my platforms at Brian Renegade. Yeah, that's where you can find me. Real quick,
the tickets are on sale. The tickets are on sale now.
Tickets are on sale now. General admission tickets. That means you can get in the building, walk around, get you some socks, draws, and some ice cream, and then go home. Or you can come and sit down, and we got seats for sale. We also got VIP packages available. And then if you would like to sponsor or be a sponsor for Mall Mania, just hit us up at www.mallmaniaevent.com, or you can send us an email directly at mallmaniaevent@gmail.com. And go ahead and get your VIP tickets because they already selling, Jack. Yeah, like hotcakes, boy. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the drug game back in the 80s. straight up. Oh, man. Savannah Evans, can you please help us in the show battle?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. So I'm going to say we will see you next week on the next best. I'm going to point to you, and I want you to say the word damn. But I want you to say the word damn the way that the cannibal says damn. I want you to say the word damn that only the queen of the Amazons can say damn. You got to go reach down deep in your guts and pour that damn out. You ready?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Beautiful people, best damn nation. We will see you next week on the next best
Damn.
wrestling podcast. Yeah, you heard that. Sound like I did something wrong. Well, I ain't do nothing wrong, mama. Absolutely. Savannah Evans, you are a pleasure to speak with. And I love for you to come on this show again. You have an open invitation. Anytime you want to come in and talk wrestling or whatever is on your heart, you can come up here on the show and promote and just kick it with your boys.
Awesome. Yeah. No, I had an awesome time. I'd love to come back.
Oh, so thank you so much. You make me feel good all on my inside parts. I appreciate that, sister. Yeah. I can't wait to see you back in the ring, kicking ass the way that you does. I'm so excited for your journey. So we applaud you and we love and respect you, my sister.
Thank you. I appreciate that, y'all.
All right. Roosevelt, sign us off.
Yes. Make sure you tune in next week on the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. We bid you guys adieu.